What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I am joined with RosAngel Perez, and we're feeling pretty damn good today. Great victory, folks. Great victory. We're savoring it. It's been an amazing past few days since November 5th. I got to tell you, I'm in shock. I know the Democrats are in shell shock. I know Kathy Griffin is in shock. We should say they're in meltdown, right? They're in meltdown.
The meltdown continues and is going to continue. And we have some nice little clips to show your audience today. And I just want to say before we jump in, thank you to all of you. Thank you for all of you who went out and showed up in mass to show everyone what America is like, that it's not shameful to feel and be patriotic. And the work continues.
It does continue. We stormed Normandy, folks, but now we got a whole other battle ahead of us. We got the high ground, and I'm going to say that very confident. But they are manipulating deceitfully on how to fire back. So I know that's happening right now. I've been talking to a lot of people, and this is going to be. We do have the high ground, but there's more fights ahead of us, folks. Get ready for it. But the anti-Trump rallies are beginning. Kathy Griffin, SNL, they're all just melting down. Everyone's just freaking out. They're like shell shocked. It's like it's like a fighter that gets knocked down by an underdog, that a guy that they shouldn't have been knocked down by, and they're just reeling backwards, going, "What the hell just happened? It's happened to me." So they have to reconfigure, restructure, go back to the drawing board, and figure out what they're going to do. And I think their next moves are going to be big ones. What are they going to be? I'm not sure, but I do know that I feel confident. I feel good that we got Mr. D coming back in office, don't you?
I do too. And I just want to keep reiterating from this Puerto Rican patriot from New York City that this is not just, there are some people who love Trump like in a cult, but that's okay. We have all bunches in here. I feel like we broke a spell. I feel like we broke a dark spell that we've been under for maybe more than a decade, that I have perceived it in my being. And so much of even this blue city that I live in feels lighter, despite, like you said, they're going to continue.
It's like the clouds broke open and the sun came out for me, man. Like, I'm like, wow, we were in a dark time. I think it's not just a spell for the past decade, but I think this has been thousands of year spell that we broke. I think humanity broke free, and yeah, there's still going to be more fighting. There's going to be a lot more, criticism and rhetoric and adversity, but we're coming through it, man. And we just showed all of them, like the celebrities, the politicians. We don't care what you think. The America has spoken. America has spoken, and guess what, folks? It's that time. Have you ever wondered what happened to Chuck Norris? This will be quick, folks. I promise. This will be quick. Well, if you've ever wondered about the legendary Chuck Norris, I recently saw a video he made and I was shocked, just like the Democrats are right now. He's in his 80s and still kicking butt and working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. And he did this just by making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better, folks. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day long. I wonder what they do with that energy. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/Nino or by clicking on the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/Nino. Click on the link in the description box below to watch the video now. You won't believe how simple it is. Just a reminder. The legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old and yet has more energy than me. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply focusing on three things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by clicking on the link below, folks. Get started and start kicking some butt. All right, man. I can't believe Texas Walker Ranger is 84 years old, man. These last 10 years have just zipped by so fast. Like, even with my parents, my dad's going to be 90, God willing, in just a month. And it's just a blink of an eye. I mean, let's think about it. Really, since Trump to Biden, now Trump again, that was what, 8 years. And I don't even know like where it all went. I'm sure my audience feels the same way. It seems like time and space are going so much faster. I know they say that happens when you get older, but it's like zoom, like vapor. Like I can't even keep up with how fast all of this is happening. Everything. I'm turning around and all my friends are now older, like the upper 40s. Like, we just turned 40. And now here we are going into, I mean, this is crazy. In our 50s. Man, slow down, please. Slow down.
Please slow down. We want to enjoy it. I know I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel like they've been cheated out of some of their prime years because of the craziness. And depending on who you are and what your point of view was in life, that might mean different years for you, right? Because they, like you said, what I've been pointing out as 10 years is sort of like from the visual, like they're so frickle, they're just showing you because they don't give no foxes, that I have sort of like everywhere I was looking, it seemed like it was just depravity in my face, especially like in the entertainment industry. But yes, to your point, this has been going on for so long. I guess it's always been maybe hidden in plain sight. So what has that been? Is it because we've been in different layers of programming?
Yeah, I think there's been some monumental shifts in human consciousness, and I'm gonna say like the first one was like the first big one that I've been able to witness in my personal life was the internet. When the internet came on board and the dial-up and all that, when the internet first popped on the scene, that was the first major shift in human consciousness. The next one would have been, or like cell phones and internet, and then the next one would have been 9/11. That was another huge shift in consciousness. They're not always good, right? Some of them are bad. Then the next one would have been Trump defeating Hillary, and then the next one would have been 2020, Biden, beating Trump, and then the whole consciousness shift there, and then the next, and then the whole boogeyman that happened during that time, and then now the next big shift to me is this new win, this new victory by Trump. I feel like humanity just, and I don't think now, especially with X being a free speech platform, and I think they're done. I know there's battles ahead, but I think we have humanity in a way has freed itself. And only more and more people are going to come on board. Obviously, they're going to keep trying their antics. They're going to keep, uh, you know, reaching for straws, but they're going down in the quicksand, man. They're going down with the ship, and they're not going to win this. But folks, we're going to start now and show you just how pathetic this really is. Kathy Griffin melting down, Democrats melting down. And now you even have SNL skits. Now I'm trying to wonder, is this sarcasm in their skit, or do you think this was like, because a lot of it is just, satire. But you want to explain this?
Well, this is a pretty long 4 minute, 53-second clip. So I don't know how long we're going to get through it, but let me just say that you have the SNL cast in the beginning sort of just making a very cringe, like it's almost like they're being forced to toe the line and being on stage and be very politically correct because the new jefe is in town, and they're gonna acquiesce because they don't want to be put on any list. And then they, towards the end of the video, they're like sort of kind of saying like, but we were down with Donald Trump and blah 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 blah. They weren't. So then it's also like the finger pointing is also highlighted here. So it is interesting.
I'm gonna play this. I just want to see if this is satire, if they're just being sarcastic about it or what. But I mean, obviously, rallies are being manufactured right now, and I got to think about it. I got to think, the same. These rallies are probably being paid and bought for by the same people that are paying the immigrants and the whole thing. So all this stuff is cleverly funded, folks. So let's play this right now.
On Tuesday, Americans went to the polls and elected Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States.
To many people, including many people watching this show right now, the results were shocking and even horrifying.
Donald Trump returned to office by an overwhelming majority.
This is the same Donald Trump who openly called for vengeance against his political enemies.
Holy cow, this is not satire. These people are serious right now. Wow, they're doubling down. These people are, this is crazy.
And now, thanks to the Supreme Court, there are no guardrails.
Nothing to protect the people who are brave enough to speak out against him.
And that is why we at SNL would like to say to Donald Trump, we have been with you all along.
We have never wavered in our support of you, even when others doubted you.
Every single person on this stage believed in you.
Every single person on this stage voted for you.
Because we see ourselves in you. We look at you and think, that's me.
That's the man I want my future children to look up to.
And Mr. Trump, Your Honor, we know that you say things that are controversial sometimes, but really you're just speaking the truth. And I hate how the lamestream media, Michael Che, tries to spin it to make you look foolish.
So what do you think they're doing right now? Do you think this is, it's kind of hard to
Yeah, I think that's what that is. Like I think it's on a message to appease both. Like, oh, okay, they're acquiescing, but then the hardcore lefties, because, you know, they're in Blue City where they taped this. So they have to kind of look like they're being tortured, because I got to tell you, there's a lot of infighting. Like, I know that a lot of people may not believe it, but there is so much fighting right now in families that I know of, and this is sort of like
they
why
can fight all
you
they
see
want.
that.
I'm kicking back in my lawn chair and enjoying the
Yeah,
sun.
no, I hear you.
Like, I don't care. I know America's going in the right direction now. I'm fine with it. I don't even associate. A lot of people are telling me, man, my liberal friends. I'm like, I don't have any liberal friends. Those have been gone a long time ago. Could you imagine me having liberal friends? I mean, come on. Impossible, folks.
So if you're keeping some sort of list of your enemies, then
We should not be on that list.
And it's 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗁, Che.
And if we find out someone here voted for Kamala, we will rat them out so fast.
Like our 3 disgusting new cast members.
So real quick, left to right, that's Jane Whitline, Ashley Padilla, and 𝗵𝗲𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗁. You can find their home addresses online. Hail Trump.
I don't know. This is pretty good, man.
But the rest of us, hell Trump, voted for you at least once.
I voted for you 50 times in Pennsylvania.
92% of black women voted for Kamala, but I was one of the proud 8%. For me, it's Brother Donald
Wow,
X
they're
Trump
spinning
all
this
the way.
already.
And we're so excited to debut our new impression, Hot Jacked Trump.
That's right. That's right. It's me, Hot Jack Trump. They finally got the body right. But from now on, we're going to do very flattering portrayal of Trump because he's frankly my hero. And he's going to make an incredible president and eventually king.
See, they're just, you know, I see what they're doing here. I understand how they're spinning the narrative already. I get it. You know, I just, it's just obnoxious sarcasm. You know, that's what that is. That's what that is. You know, and I got a feeling, I understand, man, they've done a real good job, haven't they? The mainstream media brainwashing these people. I mean, a really good job. A really good job. And, you know, so when he does start going after these people, which he will, because they did massive crimes, and people are just going to ignore that. They're not going to understand that. There is going to be some kind of retribution here, and then they are going to be going like, they are going to be pointing the finger going, see, I told you, he's the bad man from Germany. Look at that. Not total, or they're going to be totally discounting what they did for him to do what he's going to do. Do you get what I'm saying? They're going to totally discount all of that.
It's unbelievable. I think what's not surprising and what people maybe are always still hope for is accountability. And you don't really see that. I've seen at least some of that in the conservative, independent, Republican movements, but you barely see that with these Democratic elite.
Like you go over,
What is this right here? Megyn Kelly and Donald Trump.
So I wanted to start with just sort of savoring the victorious moment. And this is Donald Trump Jr. telling Megyn Kelly just how it felt when they were backstage and they realized that his father won.
Wow.
hug each other. It starts sinking in.
I was with JD in his hold area with my kids and some of their friends and, some of the guys from that team. Obviously, I'd spent a lot of time with them over the last few months. You could hear the crowd, which was, 20 yards behind us outside behind the curtains. You just hear them go nuts. We look over the TV and you see that and you're like, yes. It felt so good also. Just because of the last 4 years, the hell they've tried to put us through, the weaponization of the DOJ, the weaponization of, other agencies, whether it's, New York Attorney General's office or the district attorney's office there.
I've met Don Jr. I don't know if people know that. I met him here at We Build the Wall and with Steve Bannon and everybody. He is a really nice guy, really positive guy. I had a really good time with him. I hung out with him in his RV for about, 20 minutes maybe, and got to speak to him and took some photos, and it was cool. He's a really, really good dude. Positive aura, man. Just a real positive guy. I have a feeling he's going to be running for president. I have a feeling.
They're all of that stuff. The last 4 years, they've really tried to run us through hell. So it felt so much better. Honestly, it felt so much better than had we actually just won in 2020, especially now that we have the Senate and the House, which we wouldn't have then. So we have the ability to do so much more this time around.
Was there a...
It's going to be so huge. RosAngel, it's going to be so big. This is such a massive, massive victory. Let's take some time real quick to look at Kathy Griffin in her meltdown.
And see how she's doing.
Now we're paying the price. And freedom isn't free. And we've been free. And technically...
It's pretty crazy how they're on the other side of the fence and they see this completely reversed than we do, right? Like they see this like the end of America. I mean, how can they even think about this? We just thwarted World War III. I mean, don't they put this into perspective? Is there any logic here? We just got handed back down to the states, so it's up to the states. I mean, World War III. Would you rather have nuclear war? I mean, it's World War III is completely on pause right now. I mean, I'm trying to understand their logical, their thinking here. Obviously, no critical thinking skills at all. I mean, the economy is going to start booming. Gas is going to go down. You're going to be able to afford groceries. What is their problem? What is the problem here? What's the disconnection here? I'm not understanding it. Why? Because people now can we're now allowed to know what our kids are being taught in school, and there's no secrecy anymore of this whole agenda. I mean, this is crazy to me.
We're still a democracy. To be LGBT in America is not going to be a safe thing anymore.
So that's what it's all about. That's it. That's their main objective right there. That is all that matters to these people. When there's thousands of different issues, you're still going to be able to do what you want to do, Kathy. No one's stopping you. But they're not going to be able to press the agenda down our throat. I mean, what the hell is this?
Yeah, that's what we hear in the Blue City. That's from our friends who believe this, that live an alternative media style, an alternative lifestyle. Some of them really do believe, because we've been on Facebook sort of just, looking at the comments, and oh my God, they're saying that he's going to come after them, that they're not going to be able to be open or
let's be careful
live an alternative
the way
lifestyle.
We talk about this, because this is YouTube. But
so,
because they can't. But so no, you're going to be able to live your lifestyles in peace. No one's bothering you.
To be a woman in America will be even less safe than it already is. I know this will get me in trouble, but I really, really wish Taylor Swift had done an event with Vice President Harris, did not realize how racist and misogynistic America still is.
She's so dumb. She still thinks Taylor Swift is the answer. Taylor Swift would not have saved you, Kathy. You have to change your insane politics and messaging and cultural behavior.
Wow, it's almost dumbfounding to watch, right? I'm just like jaws on the floor to watch that the prison mind that these people are in, that they're still captured into this. They're still in the old paradigm.
Yes.
If you ever want to win an election again, the answer, you dumbass, is not Taylor Swift. Let's check in with...
Wow.
Well said, Megyn.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
So Megyn was on fire. There's another clip with her.
The celeb crowd, 𝗶𝗃, loser. Oprah, huge loser. J-Lo, you matter, loser.
You know what's interesting about Megyn Kelly? She was against Trump in the beginning, and now she's all on board, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, because what happened to her is what happened to many people who had TDS. They believed their colleagues. They believe what other people were reporting. And when you start doing deeper research, as many of us did, you start to see the other side.
It's pretty crazy to me, though, that she, you know, because she was like, I remember back in 2016, she was one of the main ones against Trump. You know, she was like sarcastic towards him, spiteful, and now here she is all on board. And honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm happy about this.
If you want to talk to me about what it is you're doing to your skin, I'm all in. Go on. You got my full attention. If you want to tell me who to vote for or what's happening with the economy or immigration, please sit down. We would like to know what happened between you and Ben Affleck, what happened between you and P. Diddy, exactly what you're doing to your butt, and how you keep your skin so glowy. That will end the list of things we care about J-Lo's opinion on. Taylor Swift, sorry, you effed around and found out. You do not have unlimited influence. The young girls love you because you sing songs about men who break up with you, and they can all relate to that.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift's like in her 30s, still singing like teenage songs. So it's almost kind of like pathetic in my mind. It's honestly, it's ridiculous. It's pathetic and to me. I mean, the lady is, how old is she? 35, 34, and she's still singing like teeny bopper songs. It's kind of weird.
So much of it has been weird. But hey, we're in this awakening moment, and I know many people are feeling it. And I have to say, I think that this Trump win gave people who've been closeted Trump fans, or they have just been, for whatever reason, very unable to speak up. Now they're celebrating.
Let's look back on this. This is kind of funny. This was a J-Lo when she was pleading, right, for people to go out and vote. Like, how come she didn't warn anybody about Diddy? Here she is with Diddy, you know, and I don't know. I guess that's Jay-Z in the back there. But yeah, here she is at Diddy, but not warning anybody about Diddy. But here she is warning about Trump.
You know what? We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter. Your voice and your vote matters. And look, don't be afraid to make people around you uncomfortable. Invite people around you to be the change, to go out there and vote. Nobody likes having tough conversations or talking about politics, but
they couldn't hold a stick to any one of us having a political conversation. Nothing. They would be shamed. I mean, it would be embarrassing. They'd walk off mumbling to themselves. Do you know how many political conversations I've had with liberals that they just walk off pissed off, mumbling to themselves, not knowing what they just heard, not understanding it, short-circuiting? Like, seriously, this is an acting job right here. She deserves actually, I don't think she deserves an Oscar for this. Actually, I think it's kind of pitiful.
trust me, I've been in some of these rooms. I see the way power works in this country. They love it when you do nothing. Okay? A non-vote is an agreement. It just makes it easier for them to do whatever they want, whatever serves them. And this election is about your life. It's about you.
Wow, this is all going to come back to bite her in the ass.
I know she keeps getting mentioned, even though she seems to have tried for many years to stay out of it.
Yep, here she is right here. So they must have told her, "Look, girl, you better come and talk at the rally because we're all our asses on the line." I bet you that's really the phone conversation that there was, and she came and gave her little acting display right here. But I'm going to tell you right now, I would bet. Look at the picture. There she is with Diddy, no clothes on. She's obviously doing the Diddy thing. She was with Diddy for how many years, RosAngel? Do you know?
I mean, they broke up. Their relationship was relatively short-lived, but they were homies from what I gather. I remember seeing lives of them, you know, during the 2020 lockdown era. Oh yeah, this is interesting. This is in my neck of the woods.
Hey, racist, sexist, anti-gay. Donald Trump, go away. Racist, sexist, anti-gay. Donald Trump, go away.
He's not any of those things. This is what the media put on them to make them believe that he's none of those things they're protesting about. None of them.
They believe it. This is, you know, people who are nervous, people who support the sanctuary city state. They're not realizing, and you know, I've been listening to so much of the reaction, and what's disappointing is that everybody's just is blaming. Oh, I blame this group, I blame that group, but no one's pointing the finger towards themselves and just saying, you were trying to lead with like cultural stuff, and you weren't paying attention to what Americans were saying over and over and over. We can't afford to live. We can't afford rent. We can't afford our groceries.
And we're going into
and
World War
these are
III.
everyday things.
Right, and World War III. So like that's better. Like, are you kidding me?
Racist, sexist, anti-gay. Donald Trump, go away. Racist, anti-gay. Donald Trump has got to go.
Interesting.
Nobody cares, man. You know, they'll make a bang for a little bit. And I bet you these are well funded. Otherwise, these people wouldn't even do it. I bet you they're getting paid.
I mean, you see the printed signs. That is
exactly.
funded.
Yeah, you're right. What's this right here that we're looking at?
Oh, one of my favorite Latinas on The View.
Misogynistic and blames them for Kamala's election. The View says Latinos are oh, wow, really? Okay, golly, they're just not stopping, are they?
And finally, we talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep.
How do they not understand that it's all about the border? Hispanic or not, I live in El Paso, and 90% of the Hispanics here do not want this problem. I know people that live in Ciudad Juarez, okay, in Mexico. They do not want this problem. They're having a hell of a time even over there. My housekeepers still come here. I have friends over there. They're like, David, the crime here is unbelievable. The spike in violent crime from the Venezuelans, Hondurans, all of them are there in Juarez. They go back and forth, and the crime in Juarez is through the charts. I'm talking carjackings, housejackings. I mean, this is bad stuff that's happening. No, it's the border issue. It's the border issue.
Well, they're speaking from their elitist little spaces because they think that they get to that they have a right insight, but they're really disconnected from the common person.
So what, did The View have a meltdown on during the election the next day, or what was
several little meltdowns?
Was red.
Yeah. It was pretty red last night.
I don't know. I'm profoundly disturbed. I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America makes a perilous choice. I think that
America makes a perilous choice. This is how they're going to spin it. When is the media going to come down? I can't tolerate 4 years of this.
I love this lady so much. You know why? Because she's one of the most racist on The View, and she's living a life of privilege. What the heck is she talking about?
Know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry.
He's already stopped World War III. What are you talking about? The delusions are off the charts. I mean, do you really believe they think this, or are they being paid to say this? Because I don't see how anybody in the right state of mind, well, I guess they're not in the right state of mind, are they?
Okay, I will say this. to answer your question, right? Because one time I did interview with a producer one of the former producers of a show like this. And it was my understanding that the producers will push the people to sort of like, I want you to kind of talk more about this and, push back a little bit. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of them are just being extra dramatic and they don't realize how their words are landing on people.
About myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly.
The working class, you can't even afford gas.
And their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that.
Who says? Who says you have less civil rights? Who's feeding your mind this garbage? None of this is true. None of it. This is insanity, man. RosAngel, really, let's really dissect this. This is a level of delusion and insanity that is plaguing all these people, and they don't even know why. Just because this is a perfect example, folks. This is an example of what mainstream media does to your brain right here. This is not backed by facts. This is just mainstream media, television, radio, all of it. This is what it does to your brain.
So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States.
Boy, wait until they find out the truth about that. That one right there is going to really hit them hard. When they find out the real, get ready because it's coming.
I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country. Because I remember applying for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felons. And so that box better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk.
RosAngel, there's no talking to these people, man. This is a state of delusion that I don't even think you can talk to them. I don't think you could have a constructive conversation with them. They're highly emotional. It's almost like they're in a trance, right?
It seems like that. We know people from our FB friends group that are like, you better not come talk to me, unfriend me, all this stuff. Everybody's unfriending each other because, you voted for that racist. Is crazy. And we're like, you guys are not really thinking and reasoning in common sense. Are you not looking at other statistics? Are you not seeing that he not only won the electoral vote, that he won the popular vote? The numbers don't lie.
I think
no fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, economists have made clear.
Yeah, they think that's just a small issue. No fluoride. Do they understand how big that issue is with RFK? I think we're at a point now, RosAngel, where we just turn it off. Turn off The View. Turn off all these stations. Don't even listen to them. They're out of their minds. They're rabid dogs. John Rich said it on my show. Rabid dogs. It's like they're infected. They're infected, and they're just trying to, they're contagious to other very weak and feeble minds, not to strong individuals like myself or you or those listening to this show right now, but they're contagious and infectious to other very feeble, weak, impressionable minds.
It's disappointing.
I see it cut and dry.
That he's going to increase the debt by $7.75 trillion. I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps. And I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful.
Yeah, she has to bring that up, right? Woman of color.
And
that
the
a mixed
Academy
race
award goes to.
Yeah.
Woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
Well, see how they're spinning it? See how they're spinning it already? I'm telling you, man, public enemy number one.
You know, the Democrats are filled with so much holes, right? Even in their statements at all, because they'll point, oh, look at the right-wing conservative. They're full of white men and want to be in power. But let's be honest, how many of these black women, who are their partners? And I'll just shut up right there.
Wait, so what is this? How to treat people during the holidays who voted for Trump? Is that what it is?
Or time? And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why.
I agree. Go away. I agree with that one. The first smart thing that came out of their mouths.
No more drama. I mean, you can't convince people who will not be convinced with logic and reason. And like you said, there's this venomous emotional energy. I ain't trying to be a part of that. I'm not trying to be a part of that. People have been trying to bait me. When my sister and I made our little comments outside MSG, people got really angry. Some folks wished death upon us. And then within our own community, I'm like, you guys, like, do you not see the hypocrisy here? Oh, yeah. So Diddy is.
And let's remember, folks, all the people that came out to endorse Kamala are the Diddy listers. Sean Diddy Combs proposes new $50 million bail package and fourth request for prison release. So $50 million. Huh? So Sean Diddy Combs and his legal team are proposing a new $50 million bail package as he awaits trial on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. According to the Associated Press, Diddy, 54, man, I didn't know he was 54, filed a new request on Friday, November 8th, claiming that because of changed circumstances and new evidence, he should be allowed to prepare for his May 2025 trial from outside of Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, where he has been behind bars since September. It's been that long, huh? He's been in there since September. The new filing serves as his fourth request. He has been denied bail multiple times. Huh. I don't think they'll give this to him. I think the hammer's coming down. I don't think it matters what he tries to do here.
Well, I guess one of the arguments is that the case against him isn't super tight. And there are some who are speculating, like Perez Hilton, that he wouldn't be surprised if Diddy is released on bail. We'll see.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
he's doing what? Lined walls?
Oh, no,
ceiling?
yeah. So, and this is one of another stories that he lined his walls and ceilings with all these mirrors so you can see from all angles.
Of course he did. I'm sure he put a lot of thought into this. His whole life was just about being perverted. His whole entire life was just perversion.
Yeah. That's so, I don't think that's a video connected to it. So I just feel that.
Yeah, it says here, Sean Diddy Combs covered the walls and ceilings of his alleged freak-off parties in mirrors so that debauchery was visible from every angle of the wild fetishes. What is that? Petit, I don't know what that word is. Folks, help me out here. His alleged party planner claimed to the Post, everywhere you looked, you'd see yourself reflected again and again. The source, who asked to not be named, alleged you can imagine what it would look like when people are naked and having sex on the floor, on the couches, wherever. Jesus, man.
That seems like a very trippy experience. Almost like I just hearing that description, all I see are just mind pieces fragmented.
Yeah.
Within those reflections.
Right. Perez Hilton, man, that guy's still around, huh?
Yeah, and this was like I said, him giving you some of his insights.
Yeah, he was real big back in the day. I remember him, in the early 2000s, was it? Or Paris Hilton used to be like, the king of gossip, or what is he, the queen of gossip?
Perez Hilton here, and color me shocked. Diddy's attorneys are trying yet again to have him released from prison. He's currently detained in Brooklyn while he awaits his upcoming federal trial, which is scheduled to start in May of this coming year. And this is the fourth attempt and fourth different package that his attorneys have put together. And actually, I think this time they have a pretty strong argument, multiple arguments for why they should let him out now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is way bigger than people know. And I think that he's going to be interrogated and questioned for a very long time until they get everybody. And I'd be very surprised if they let him out. What about you?
I'm hearing all kinds of rumors, but there's been so much, like almost like a silence on the Diddy front energetically, that I wouldn't be surprised if they finagle something and all of a sudden we see him just out on bail up until his trial starts.
I mean, I
hope I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too, but I mean, anything's possible. Anything is possible.
Some things, though, remain the same. As in previous attempts to get Diddy out on bail, his team has proposed a $50 million package. Additionally, and I cannot believe that Diddy agreed to this, he, if released on these terms, has volunteered for substance abuse testing, meaning to see if he has any hugs in his system. His family visits will be monitored by security, and he will have round-the-clock security to make sure that he isn't attempting to influence the case in any way, such as intimidating potential witnesses.
This is, I don't know. I'll let my audience decide on this one. Do you think he will be granted his wish? Do you think he will, 50 million, right? It's 50 million?
Mm-hmm. With all these extra things and security and all that other stuff.
Let's talk a little bit about Cat Williams here. Cat Williams is really one that blew the lid off all of this, correct?
Well, in terms of mainstream, but people who been speaking about this for many years.
Actor 𝗵𝗶𝗀 says Cat Williams is a prophet. Those Diddy tapes are about to drop. All of Hollywood is terrified, and 2024 will be a year of jail.
To a Diddy party?
Nah.
Damn, you didn't get an invite?
I feel real good. God has blessed me. You know, a lot of people can't stand on business right now.
Right.
You know, I can stand on the whole business. But boy, it's some people right now that are shook. Let me tell you right now, Hollywood quiet, bro.
I know it.
Bro, it's ghost town in Hollywood. People trying to get their alibis together. It's about to go down. Them tapes about to drop.
Hold on a second, Bill.
He's been saying that for weeks.
No, because
Hollywood is so quiet.
They have to be scared. Let me tell you what I'm
They are scared, and it is quiet right now. I know people within the industry. Nobody is talking to each other at all. None. Only people that are very well trusted and that had nothing to do with these parties are they the ones like feeling really good right now. I think there's going to be a seismic shift. It's already happening, but in Hollywood where all these people are, I mean, J-Lo, think about all of them. They're all connected in some way, shape, or form. This web of intricacies and connections is going to be so detailed when it comes down, and so many people are going to be taking hits and turning on each other and self-deleting. We haven't even seen the self-deleting yet.
We have seen some weird stories, right? That we don't know the details of people who have, you know, just mysteriously they're not here with us anymore. It sucks to be speaking like this, like in blanks.
Yeah. But you know, and it says Hollywood is quiet, but so is everything. Everything is just like at a standstill right now. Everything's like shell-shocked. The political world just got rocked. Hollywood's rocked. And that goes to what we said earlier. It's like power and ethics is colliding. Ethics wins. It's the morality of human beings win. This is that dark side, that dark structure is just crumbling down. It's just coming down.
sad for
terrified.
it, okay? The fact that you think you partying with another celeb and we all good, right? That's what everybody probably thinking.
Yep.
You get to keep your secrets, and this dude just sat up there and taped everything.
Yo, but this is the thing that I'm taking it one more step further, right? It's one thing to go to a party and know what you did. There's people that don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So now,
damn, yeah. Some people are like, oh, I was really drunk that night. I was on drugs. What did I do? So they're sitting around. They don't even know what they did, and they don't even know if they're named, right, RosAngel? Oh,
that is scary. That is so scary. That is so. Yeah, I mean, so many people that I've spoken to who are in the media, alternative, that are big names. Whenever I've like had that private little moment, they kind of come with a little warning, and they always say, and even didn't Elon Musk also say this? Prepare. Everyone's saying just prepare. I'm basking in the peace that I feel right now. I'm basking in how beautiful it feels energetically outside. And I feel like this win is, it's bigger than Trump. It's God's people said yes. I mean, that day that Kamala was like, you're in the wrong rally. You could go to the smaller crowd. It's almost like, did you just try to sin against God? And then you think that's gonna fly? And maybe a lot of people didn't think that was a big moment. I did. I really thought it was a big moment. And a couple of other things. When she conceded, did you see that? You know, when she does that little thing, she's always doing this thing.
Yeah.
If you notice, if you go back to her speech, she kind of does that again, but very mildly. So I'm like, are you trying to wield some little magic? Like, stop it. It's not going to work. God wins.
God wins. Yeah. And you know, the thing I can relate to with what you just said on how a lot of these people don't even, or what he said, 𝗵𝗲𝗍 just said about a lot of these people don't even remember being at the party, or they were there, but they don't remember what they did because they were so under the influence of drugs and alcohol. I've personally experienced that when I got thrown in jail back in like 2017, 18, and I was sitting in the jail cell. I think it was for another DUI, and I was sitting there, and I remember waking up and I was hungover, and I couldn't remember why I was in there. And I was looking around, and I was in this tiny little cell, and I kept thinking to myself, why am I in here? And then I remembered that I got pulled over by flashing police lights and all this stuff, and then my mind just started going crazy on me, and I started thinking, like, oh no, what if I hit somebody with my car, and all these things. And I sat in there for almost 24 hours or a little longer before I could even have any idea what happened. And when they told me, no, you just had a DUI, I was like, thank God. Thank God. They were like, wow, really? Like, I was like, you have no idea what was going through my mind right now. And that was also one of the main reasons I quit all that. And that's why I'm sober today, because, everyone's rock bottom is different. And I hit rock bottom many, many, many multiple times to clean up my act. And at least I did the right thing. So I'm happy now. But that must be torture for some of these people to like not know what they did at the party, and they don't know what kind of accusations are coming at them. That would be terrifying by itself.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in their little bubble for a long time, doing many things in plain sight and pushing depravity. And I don't know, like, look, I would be squeaky wheels on my timelines and be like, my friends in the music industry, are you guys going to speak to the depravity in music? No one has ever to this day responded.
Yeah. So they're so busy bashing Trump and protecting each other from this game they're running in Hollywood. And now it's reversed. It's completely flipped. So you don't hear The View talking about, they're bashing Trump, but they're not bashing Diddy, are they? They're not bashing J-Lo. They're not bashing Jay-Z. They're not bashing any of them, are they? They're protecting them, aren't they? Things are about to change.
And also, they're all under contracts.
Yeah.
And when you're under contract, part of your job, or where you work anywhere, whether or not you're under contract, you are expected to represent the interests of wherever you work. So they are representing their boss's interests. And the moment we remember that this is business, they're paid liars, and some of them don't even know it.
This is about to get interesting, folks. I think these next 3 months are going to be critical. I think we can expect anything. I think we're going to see a hell of a lot more protests. I think the backlash is just about to start. So get ready, buckle up, and be ready. RosAngel, I really appreciate you coming on. Where do people find you?
Hello, everyone. You can find me at 𝗂𝗶𝗱𝗶, which is cafe Cito with a little cup of coffee break on social media. And it's been a joy. Hang in there. Stay strong. Be in your ultimate faith, because there's a lot of people around us that are going to try to tempt you into their emotional, lower, dense vibration. And we are needed to be the way showers too.
Beautiful. All right, folks. Till next time, this was the entertainment segment. There you go. Nino's Corner.tv with RosAngel Perez. Until next time, folks. Later.